Gearing up then for our final race of the day here at Snetterton on BARC TV. It is the second race for the Goodyear Britcar Trophy. Goodyear Britcar Endurance Championship Trophy category. And we'll bring you the grid for this one. I've also got details of the pit stop penalties. This grid based on the second fastest times in qualifying. It is the number 10 BMW of Simon Baker and Ollie Rubin, which will start on pole position. Ollie Rubin taking the start this time for Woodrow Motorsports. That car has a 15-second success penalty as the winner. It's class in race 1. Alongside them, number 40, the Simon Green Motorsport BMW, driven by Jasveer Sapra, stymied by a stop-go penalty in race number 1, of course. On the second row will be the number 2 Ginetta. Good effort by the Class 2 car. Peter Spano will start that car, sharing with Andrew Bentley, the Ginetta. They have a 10-second penalty. They were second in Class 2 in race 1, beaten on the last corner by Richard Evans. Alongside them will be number 20. That's the Peugeot RCZ, started by Rob Smith. Charlie Campbell will take over. The third row, number 74, that's Mark Lee, driving solo in his Ginetta. He has a 10-second success penalty at his pit stop. Second in class in race 1. Alongside him will be number 93. That's Kester Cook in his Ford Fiesta. He has a 5-second penalty. Third in class in class 1. Third in race 1. On the fourth row, we have number 82, Richard Evans with his BMW. 15-second success penalty for the Quattro Motorsport BMW because he won class 2 in rather ebullient style in race 1 as the cars start making their way to the grid. Alongside him will be number 15, just going through the shot there, the blue Porsche of Richard Higgins. He has a 5-second success penalty, third in class 2 earlier. The fifth row, number 5, Tony Prendergast in his VW Scirocco. Hopefully he's there. He had problems in race 1. Alongside him is JW Bird Motorsport teammate, number 31, Paul de Hadre in another Scirocco. The sixth row, number 4, which is the first of the Clios, Anton Spires and Darren Gerhardt. Darren Gerhardt will start the Westbourne Motorsports, the Spires Motorsport Clio, sharing with Anton Spires. That car retired in race 1. And starting alongside them will be at the number 35 VW Golf. Stephen Chandler is going first, sharing with Joel Wren. No success penalty for that car. On row 7 will be number 41, the Thompson family in their Clio. They have a 15-second penalty. Won the Clio class earlier. It's Aaron Thompson going first. Alongside number 77, which is Matt Evans in his Scirocco. The 8th row is number 62, the Clio of James Coburn and Sarah Franklin. James is going first. They have a 10-second success penalty. Alongside them would have been Charlotte Birch, number 27, with her Ginetta, the Vinner Sport car. Unfortunately, that car's gearbox has failed, so Charlotte is a non-starter. On the 9th row, number 80, which is the Porsche Boxster of Anthony Hutchings. And alongside him will be number 67, the Renault Clio of Richard Coburn and James Black. That car has a 5-second success penalty. There it is on its way to the grid, the blue Clio. James Black taking the start. On row 10, number 19, the Class 3 winner from race 1, the Ginetta G20. Started this time by Jamie Vinelmeyer. That, of course, has a 15-second penalty. Alongside the number 177 Renault Clio, the PrepTech car, Ryan Firth going first, sharing with Andy Mollison. The 11th row, number 49, the Woodard family BMW Mini. Daniel Woodard again taking the start in that one, sharing with Sean. Alongside number 57, Barry McMahon in his Alfa Romeo Giulietta. The next row, row 12, is number 71, which is the Team Brit BMW, Luke Pound, driving solo in that car. Alongside number 46, the Jones-Taylor Golf, TSR performance car. That retired with overheating issues in race 1. Mark Jones taking the start this time. Row 13 is number 8, the Porsche Boxster of Gemco Racing. Lee Smart's taking the start, sharing with Kevin Hancock. Alongside the Cook family, number 83, Honda. Edward Cook again taking the start. Row 14 is number 34, Alistair Lindsay with the Saxon Motorsport Seat, alongside the Paul Sheard and Mazda MX-5 of Ivor Mares, number 316. The penultimate row, number 47, the Gibbons Holden Ginetta of Reflex Racing. Derek Holden starts. showing with Stuart Gibbons. Alongside the other Team Brit car, the number 70 BMW. A few problems in qualifying for them. Matty Streets takes the start, sharing with Andy Tucker. Watch for them coming through from the back. And the final row, a pair of Porsche Boxsters, number 39 Richard Bernard and number 33 of Andrew Porter. That concludes your grid for Brit Car Trophy.
Right, hello everybody, welcome to one of the most beautiful grids you're ever likely to see. Let's take a little bit of a walk, shall we, and just have a closer look at some of the action. I want to see if we might be able to stick the microphone in some of the cars. I just wonder if we can. Car number 20 here. Can I open the door? Yeah, he's going to let us. Fantastic stuff. This is some sight you've got here, a clear track ahead of you. What's the outcome going to be going around turn 1? Stick around the outside, hold it?
Yeah, I think so. Apparently P2's not going to be there, so I've got a little gap, so see if we can hang it out around the outside of turn 1 and then try and get back into the queue with P2 going into the second corner.
But we've got the dry race we wanted. Any strategy changes for race 2 compared to race 1?
Not hugely. We've swapped the pit window, so our class is pitting later, so I'll run a slightly longer stint to try and go a bit further and build up a gap for Charlie.
Fantastic. Thanks for chatting to us. Thanks for taking the time. I'm just going to shut that door for you. There we go. I don't want to be the one responsible if that flies open down the starting straight. There's Mark Lee over there. Had a great race, didn't he? In race 1, we spoke to him. He's a good friend of ours as well. It's Mr. Cook, isn't it? He's giving us a thumbs up. Look at that there. We've got the rather fine looking Porsche. We will have to move now. Actually, we're going to have to get off the track. The hooter's gone. I'm going to hand back to Dave Goddard to take you through the race. It's going to be a thriller. And sit back, relax and enjoy this one. I know I'm going to.
Great to hear from Ian Down on the grid. It's always a great atmosphere being on the grid ahead of a motor race. I was on the grid for a few endurance races 2 years ago, and it really does get the nerves jangling, even if you're not involved in the race. We seem to be missing Jasvir Sapra. His BMW is not there. There's a blank space next to where Ollie Rubin's sitting. So we're missing one of the contenders there. That's a shame. The green flag being shown at the back there, so it looks like everybody is almost ready for the rolling starts. Ollie Rubin starts the BMW number 10 this time, looking for its 4th win out of 4 this season. Off they go then. Great to see the Class 2 Ginetta up there. Just to repeat some details of the success penalties. In Class 1, the number 10 BMW has 15 seconds. Mark Lee's Ginetta has 10 seconds and Kester Cook in the Fiesta has 5. Class 2, the 15-second penalty is Richard Evans. Peter Spano and Andrew Bentley have 10. Richard Higgins Porsche has 5. Class 3, 15 seconds for the Ginetta G20, Jamie Vinnell-Meyer and Steve Griffiths. 10 seconds for Steve and Edward Cook in the Honda, and 5 seconds for Ivor Mares. This is a 50-minute race, just to confirm. In the Clios, 15 seconds for the Thompsons, 10 seconds for James Coburn and Sarah Franklin, and 5 seconds for Richard Coburn and James Black. Those are your penalties. They'll sit stationary for an extra few seconds at their pit stops. So no Jasvir Sapra, unfortunately. Ollie Rubens caught and passed Mark Lee in race number 1. Now the pit windows are reversed in this one. The pit window opens 20 minutes into the race, but this time the Class 2 cars will pit first. And then 10 minutes after that, everybody else can come in. We've swapped it round this time to make it fairer. So you'll see the Class 2 cars make their pit stops first. The Goodyear Brit Car Endurance Championship Trophy category. There's Matty Street in the Team Brit BMW at the back. Kester Cook could be a dark horse here in that Fiesta, I reckon. Tony Prendergast got the Scirocco out there. He had problems in race 1. Mark Jones there in the black Golf. That car overheated in race 1, had to retire. Ivor Mares in the MX-5. There's the Peugeot. He'll try and get a run on the BMW early on, but I reckon the Ginetta 74 is going to be one to watch here. But can anyone stop Woodrow Motorsport and their incredible BMW? Will it be 4 out of 4? Rob Smith at the wheel of the Peugeot. Dropped back in the second half of race 1. What a great sight they make. 50 minutes of racing to round out our weekend here at Snetterton. Richard Bernard there at the back in the Porsche. Had trouble in qualifying. A BMW 1 Series M Coupe, a Peugeot RCZ, a Ginetta and a Ford Fiesta. That's not a top 4 on a grid you see anywhere else. Looks like just about everybody is there towards the back. There's Andy Porter in the 33 Boxster. Pace car pulling into pit lane then. 50 minutes of racing about to get underway in the sunshine of Snetterton. The sun coming out for our final race of the day. Let's hope it stays out. Let's hope for a brilliant race here from the Brick Car Trophy category. Here they come up towards the line, waiting for the red lights to go out. Let's get ready to rumble. Here we go, and a great start by Ollie Rubin in the pole-sitting BMW. He'll lead them down towards Riches for the first time. Kester Cook's got a great getaway. Kester Cook up into second place in the Fiesta. I said that'd be a car to watch, and he's got ahead of the Peugeot of Rob Smith as they head up towards Wilson's hairpin for the first time. They've all made it round the first corner. Fine sight they make as the sun begins to set here at Snetterton. Kester Cook up to second, but look at the lead Ollie Rubin's got already in that BMW ahead of the Fiesta. Rob Smith in third place. Then we've got Mark Lee in his Ginetta, side by side between Peter Spano in his Ginetta and Richard Evans. They're renewing their rivalry in Class 2 from earlier on, and Richard Higgins in the Porsche as well. As Ollie Rubin starts to move away. He's got that extra penalty at the pit stop, of course, but that's coming up later on. The Class 1 cars don't pit until half an hour into the race this time. That's with 20 minutes to go on the clock. The pit windows split into 2 to avoid congestion in the pit lane, as there was a collision in the pit lane, unfortunately, yesterday when everybody came in under the safety car. Kester Cook flying along in that Fiesta, but there's a gap there on the inside. He went a bit wide through Oggies, and through goes Rob Smith. He didn't need asking twice there. Through he went into second place. And Peter Spano's dropped back a few places in the Ginetta as well. He's lost the lead of Class 2 to Richard Evans in the BMW. It's the BMW that leads the way. Ollie Rubin going clear in the number 10 car. Here comes Smith fighting back with Kester Cook, who's slipstreamed in there. He's back into second place. That awesome little Fiesta, a very impressive little car, that is. The pocket rocket up into second place, but Rob Smith again fights back in the Peugeot RCZ. I can't think of another example of a Peugeot RCZ that's racing in the UK at the moment. Fourth is Mark Lee in his potent Ginetta G56. And they've pulled clear off the battle for fifth place now. There's fifth place in the background. That's Richard Evans. And up the inside, the Peugeot retakes the place into Murray's. That's a daring move on the brakes. There's Richard Evans, fifth. Richard Higgins in sixth. Stephen Chandler's Golf is seventh. Tony Prendergast is eighth. Matt Evans and, goodness me, Matty Street in the Team Brit BMW from near the back of the grid is up into 10th place already. That's a great first lap from Matty Street for Team Brit. Oh, somebody slowing there. Oh, it's Tony Prendergast. I said at the start he'd had problems earlier on. It looks like they've returned. The Sirocco is slowing down. Matty Street has got... Oh, he's... Yeah, a cloud of smoke there from Tony Prendergast. That's his race over already. What a shame for the VW Scirocco from JW Bird Motorsport. Ollie Rubens has the lead then, led by over 6 seconds at the end of the first lap ahead of Kester Cook in his Flying Fiesta. Here's the Clio battle. Number 62 leading the class. That's James Colburn. Now, the Clio in the middle there is an interloper. That's Ryan Firth. That Clio is actually in Class 2 because it's a different spec to the others in the dedicated Clio class. It's a more powerful endurance Clio, as PrepTech call it, and he's going to make up the place there. There's a challenge for the class lead, though, because Aaron Thompson is there. He is in the same class as James Colburn. That's for the class lead. This is great stuff. The battle for second is joined again. The Peugeot's back ahead of the Fiesta of Kester. And Mark Lee is in behind them as well in his Ginetta. He can sense a chance to attack here for third place. Oh, something flew off there. Now, I don't know whether that was a bit of debris that was on the track already or whether it's come off one of those three cars battling for second place. Well, Ollie Rubens checked out at the front in the BMW. Richard Evans is leading Class 2 in his BMW in 5th overall. The Clio class is being led only just by James Colburn in the black car. Class 3, that is being led by Jamie Vinall-Myers Ginetta, looking to keep their overall championship lead. Rob Smith up there in that lovely Peugeot RCZ. Hand over to Charlie Campbell at the pit stop. The car wasn't quite ready in time for the first rounds at Silverstone. There goes the leader. He's gone out of sight of everybody else. Trying to build up as big a lead as he can so they can overcome that extra penalty at the pit stop, no doubt. As 5 seconds can make a difference. 15 seconds certainly can. In motorsport. There's the second place fight. Mark Lee, the transport company boss, at the wheel of his lovely Ginetta. Running partnership with SVG Motorsports, Ginetta specialists. Here's a nice little battle at the back. Derek Holden's Ginetta, Ivor Mayers in the MX-5, and Richard Bernard, who started on the back row in his Boxster. Also in there, Luke Pound in the Team Brits BMW, a man who has overcome considerable adversity to race after injuries suffered in a road accident a few years ago. Luke Pound at the back of the field in that BMW 1 Series. It's a very different 1 Series, the M Coupe that leads. Richard Evans leads Class 2. There's Ryan Firth closing up on Matt Evans in his Scirocco. There's the battle for the Clio lead. Still the TerraClean sponsored car of James Colburn that has the lead. He'll hand over to Sarah Franklin. Here's Mark Lee having a look for third place at Williams. Side by side with the Fiesta. He's going through. The power of the Ginetta tells, and he goes up into third place. Fiesta putting up a brave fight here still. This is really good stuff. There's Richard Higgins in his lovely Porsche, a 996. He's in 8th position. He's lost a couple of spots there. Chandler in the Golf has got through, and also Matty Street, who's continuing his charge, starting from the back after a few issues in qualifying. There's the fight for second. And there's our race leader. He's run away and hid up front. He's doing a Charlie Hand here, isn't he, like we saw in the junior saloon cars, Ollie Rubin. Fastest lap is a 2:05.913. That's nearly 3 seconds quicker than everybody else has managed at the moment. The next two cars lapping in the 2:08s. There's the Fiesta. Down into 4th place. There's Matty Street ahead of Richard Higgins, 7th and 8th. Matty Evans, 9th. And there's the Clio up to 10th. That's Ryan Firth's Endurance Clio in Class 2. Still being led by Richard Evans in his BMW. There are the Clio class leaders. Nice little fight going on between those two. Aaron Thompson just keeping pace with Ben Colburn, with James Colburn, sorry. It was Ben and his brother in the car last time out at Silverstone. Ryan Firth runs a bit wide there. And there's somebody off. That's Derek Holden in the number 47 Ginetta. That's the Reflex racing car shared with Stuart Gibbons. He's had a moment up at the bomb hole. There's Matt Evans with the Scirocco. Different car to the one he raced at Silverstone. That got some damage in an opening lap, Schmozzle. Then the Clio leaders. Just outside the top 10, those two. One car that has dropped back is Peter Spano in the Ginetta G40. It started towards the front of it. That car will pick up again when Andy Bentley gets on board, the quicker of the two drivers in that car. There goes the leader. Comes through towards Murray's. Ollie Rubin will relay Simon Baker. We normally see Ollie racing, as we said earlier, historic sports cars with his father Nigel these days. Nigel Rubin, a seasoned club racer of many years standing. He's raced everything from Ginettas to Formula Jedi single-seaters in the past. Here's our Class 2 leader. That's deceptively plain-looking BMW of Richard Evans, the Quattro Motorsport car. He leads Class 2 ahead of Stephen Chandler's Golf. There was only a second between them last time through. There's the Golf. Stephen Chandler, the ex-junior saloon racer. Started his career in, of all things, a Nissan Micra-based car in short oval racing, Stephen Chandler. Very different to that Golf. I believe that was down at Ringwood Raceway in Hampshire. He started his racing career, if memory serves me correctly. And now look at him alongside Joel Wren, sharing the Golf. 6th overall. They had a bit of a scrape at Silverstone, but in good form here. Chasing the Class 2 leader, Richard Evans. 3rd in Class 2 is Richard Higgins. There's the Porsche behind Matty Street. That's a Class 1 car. Just over 40 minutes of the race to go, so we're 10 minutes in. The pit window does not open for another 10 minutes in this one. The first pit window will be for the Class 2 cars only. Great to enjoy the variety of cars, the spectacle of brick car racing on this home of motorsport in eastern England. There's the Alfa Romeo, that's Derek McMahon. Barry McMahon, sorry, Derek the team boss. That's running a bit further down the order at the moment. The only cars that have hit problems so far, we saw Tony Prendergast expire in a cloud of smoke on the Senna Straight, unfortunately. And we've also had Mark Jones into the pits a couple of laps in with the Golf, so more issues to the Jones-Taylor Golf. We saw that retire from race 1 as well. Well, here comes our Class 3 leader at the back of this group. Behind the Clio there is the little Ginetta G20. One time there was a one-make series for those, I believe. Nigel Rubin, Ollie's father, raced in that. That is Jamie Vinnell-Meyer, Formula Ford ace. At the wheel of that, he'll hand over to Steve Griffiths at the pit stop. They've dominated Class 3 so far this season, looking for 4 class wins out of 4, which will put them into the overall lead of the championship. Ahead of the BMW, it's currently leading overall. Very beautiful little car, that is. They're currently running in 19th place. Second in Class 3 is the Cook family Honda, and it's the Alfa Romeo of McMahon third. There's a battle between Matt Evans in his Scirocco and Ryan Firth in the Endurance Clio, as it's known, in Class 2. That's for 4th in Class 2 and 9th overall. Behind them are the Clio leaders, still James Colburn. There he is in the 62. Being chased by Aaron Thompson. There is your race leader. What's Ollie Rubin's gap now? 15 seconds up. Still lapping about 3 seconds a lap quicker than everybody else. Ollie Rubin. It's close for second, though. Mark Lee is still not able to get past the Peugeot for second place of Rob Smith. Kester Cook has dropped back a few seconds now into 4th position. Here's the battle for second place. That's very close indeed. Mark Lee is all over Rob Smith in the Peugeot. Up towards Wilson's hairpin. He's going to try and make a move here, is he? Gets the tighter line. The Peugeot just about holds it. This is good stuff. Strong run by Rob Smith, but Mark Lee knows he's got that pit penalty as well, so he wants to overcome that. The Peugeot does not have a pit penalty. So they didn't finish in the top 3 of the class in race 1. There's Kester Cook, who's dropped back a bit into 4th place after his strong run early on in the Fiesta. Rounding out the top 5 at the moment is Richard Evans in his Class 2 leading BMW. But in about 6 minutes' time, the Class 2 cars will be allowed to pit. Up towards Hamilton's goes the 2nd place battle. They're over 15 seconds down now on Ollie Reuben, although a slightly slower lap for Ollie last time through, a 2 minutes 7. Rob Smith did a 2 minutes 8.6, sorry. Where's the Ginetta? Derek Holden got going again after its spin at the bomb hole. Here comes our 2nd place battle. 4th behind them is Kester Cook coming over the rise there on the Bentley Straights. The sun starts to sink a bit lower in the sky here at Snetterton. Next in the order, there is the Class 2 leader. Headlights ablaze. That is Richard Evans. Richard Evans, the Quattro Motorsport car. Swings it through Nelson towards the bomb hole. It's clear, fairly well clear of Stephen Chandler's Golf. What's the gap last time through? 3.5 seconds, near enough. He stole the class win from Peter Spano on the last bend of race 1. Just seen coming out of Wilson's hairpin, a very smoky Porsche Boxster. I think it's Richard Bernard, the Amigo Motorsport car. Now, he hit trouble in qualifying. Yes, there it is. Oh, that's a great shame. Richard Bernard, he's not had a happy day. Amigo Motorsport, adios, amigo, it says on the back of the car. And it looks like it's adios for him as far as this race is concerned. Sadly for Richard. He had trouble with that car at Silverstone as well. Yes, he's pulling into the paddock, unfortunately. So the Boxster is out of the race. There it is. The marshal will open the gate for him. Here comes the race leader, lapping Ivor Mares in the Mazda MX-5. Ollie Reuben continues his relentless pace. Although his last lap was a 2 minute 9. And Rob Smith a 2 minute 8.7. So the 2nd and 3rd fights did lap a second or so quicker than Ollie Reuben on that last lap. Maybe a bit of traffic holding up. There's Luke Pound in his BMW 1 Series. So maybe he's calming his pace down somewhat after that very fast start, Ollie Reuben. Best lap at 2 minute 5.9. So 3 retirements so far. Tony Prendergast, the Jones-Taylor Golf, is in the pits. And now Richard Barnard out in the Boxster. There's another Boxster, Anthony Hutchins. Pleased to get some racing in this weekend. There's Dan Woodard in the BMW Mini. Here's our Class 3 leader, Jamie Vinelmeyer. He's coming up on Peter Spano. Started on the front couple of rows of the grid. He's down to 17th now. Ginetta falling back. That car will quicken up in Class 2 when Andy Bentley takes over. There's the Woodards, raced in various events with that Mini Challenge car. Sponsored by the Buckets Manufacturing Company. Makers of buckets for excavators, of all things. Rob Smith has pulled away a little bit in the Peugeot from Mark Lee. It's a battle for 2nd place overall and 2nd in Class 1. Kester Cook is still 4th overall, ahead of Richard Evans. Matty Street is up into 6th place. He's got ahead of Stephen Chandler in the Class 2 Golf now. That was an amazing first lap from Matty Street. You have to give him credit. 19 places gained in 1 lap for the Team Brit driver. Here's the scrap. They're still scrapping these two. Matt Evans and Ryan Firth. Excuse me, says Ryan Firth, down the inside at Palmer. Just racing for fun. These two, they're in the same class, battling for 4th in Class 2. And the Clio class leader, there's James Colburn, has pulled away a bit from Aaron Thompson. Just over 31 minutes left on the clock, so the first pit window is going to open in about a minute's time. There's Ryan Firth, still fighting it out with Matty Evans for 9th place overall, that is. And the black Clio behind them, that's James Coburn leading their class in 11th place. Down the, what used to be the Revit straight, now the Bentley straight, of course. The margin in the Clios last time through between these two was 2.5 seconds, so Colburn has been able to pull away a little. Lifting a wheel there through towards Coram. Still Ryan Firth holding off Matt Evans. A bit of debris there on the circuit. That's the entry to the Wilson's hairpin. I wonder who that belongs to. Sooner Marsh. I think I've just seen who it belongs to. I think Richard Higgins' Porsche is missing a headlight. I think that's what that debris is. Thought it looked like a light. The pit window has opened for Class 2. Bit of dust being kicked up there, coming out of the hairpin in the background. Yes, there. Richard Higgins has lost a headlight, so that's what that debris is. At the hairpin. Whether there's been some contact there, I'm not too sure. There we see it. It's at the hairpin, Richard. Collect it on your way past next time round. I jest, of course. The marshals will collect that for him. They'll probably spot that it belongs to him. Right, the pit window is open for Class 2. We've had some takers already. Anthony Hutchins has brought his Boxster in. There it is. The BMW Mini is in. Sean Woodard taking over from Dan. And Peter Spano, as expected, has brought the Ginetta in at first opportunity. There they are. Andy Bentley is going to get in that car. Here's the battle for second. Still, Mark Lee continues to hound Rob Smith's Peugeot. There's another 10 minutes until they can come in, because they're Class 1 cars. Class 1, 3 and the Clios all pit together in their separate window, because the majority of the entries in this race are in Class 2. There's the BMW Mini on the left in the pit lane as well, the Woodard family. At the outside, Mark Lee. He won't get through there at Rich's. Up towards Wilson's hairpin. Still Rob Smith continuing to hold. This is a great run by the Peugeot RCZ. Mark Lee will try again, I'm sure, as they come towards Palmer, but he's not close enough. He was ahead at the line, but the Peugeot got the place back into Rich's. Ollie Rubin is now 22.4 seconds up. There he is. He's lapped Edward Cook in the Honda Civic. So he's done enough here, Ollie Rubin, to overcome the success penalty. 15 seconds. He's 22 seconds ahead of his Class 1 rivals. It's looking good for the number 10 BMW already here. But this is motor racing. Anything can happen in the next 27 minutes. Coming up towards half distance now in this Goodyear Britcar Trophy event. There's the Clio, Darren Gerhardt's number 4. That car failed to finish race 1. It'll be Anton Spires who takes over. Matt Evans has lost a couple of places. The Clio battle has got past him, that's why. Paul de Hadre has pitted in the Scirocco. And the Hancock and Smart Porsche Boxster. Lee Smart handing over to Kevin Hancock. The number 8 Gemco racing car has come in as well. as Ollie Rubin continues to dominate this race for Woodrow Motorsport in their BMW 1 Series M Coupe. The second place battle, I should say, is still side by side. Peugeot and the Ginetta. There is the Peugeot ahead of the Ginetta. Richard Evans is still leading Class 2. He's yet to pit. Stephen Chandler has brought the Golf in. Hand over to Joel Wren. So that's promoted Richard Higgins up into second place in the class. And Ryan Firth's Clio to third, as still Rob Smith continues to hold off Mark Lee. Out towards Oggies, then Williams, and onto the back straights. We're at half distance, 25 minutes to go. Couple more pit takers. Matt Evans has come in this time. Andy Porter's Boxster is in as well for Class 2. But the class leaders have not yet come in. Richard Evans, Richard Higgins. The only one of the pace setters has come in, Stephen Chandler. It'll be Joel Wren making his first drive, I believe, in the Golf. There's Richard Evans. Continuing to lead Class 2. First time we've seen him out this year. And the Ginetta closer again to the back of the Peugeot of Rob Smith. Here they come towards Murray's. Is he going to slipstream him on the straight and try and pull away this time, get some air between himself and the French machine? Here they come then down the straights. You can just see the Ginetta hidden in behind the Peugeot there under his rear wing. Is he going to go around the outside here? Again, the Peugeot is later on the brakes. Rob Smith is enjoying this, holding off the car that got 2 podiums at Silverstone. Any more pit takers this time for Class 2? Doesn't look like it. Just keep an eye on the timing screen. Derek Holden's come in to hand over to Stuart Gibbons in the Ginetta. Marshall's keeping a watching brief from on their post. Oh, we've had a tangle there. Paul de Hadre, and that was Anthony Hutchings in the Boxster. That's at Nelson. You can see a bit of damage on the rear bumper. There's been some contact there. Paul de Hadre, the former VW Racing Cup driver, in his Scirocco, and the rear suspension's broken. You can see it's crabbing there as he tries to get away. That's going to be end of race for Paul de Hadre. It's not a good race for JW Bird Motorsport. They've already lost Tony Prendergast in a cloud of smoke on the second lap. You can see it crabbing there. The rear suspension is broken. Contact there with Anthony Hutchins. We'll wait and see if the Boxster has escaped that as well. It's going to crab its way back to the pits. That's going to be end of race for Paul de Hadre. Sadly, they won't get that fixed, I don't think, in time to get the car back out. And the former VW Cup car. And there is the Boxster. Yeah, that was the other car involved. Anthony Hutchings, he's out of the race as well. Not having a happy season. Failed to race at Silverstone. Now he's out of this race as well. That's at Coram. So the yellow flags are out there. The marshals checking he's okay. There's our leader. Still Ollie Rubin. The pit window opens for everybody else in 2 minutes. I can tell you Richard Evans, Richard Higgins and Ryan Firth have all just come into the pits. Yeah, Paul de Hadre is in. There's Ryan Firth. Paul de Hadre into retirement with his broken Scirocco. He's the 4th retirement of this race. That leaves 25 cars running. Not a happy day for JW Bird Motorsport. A little bit wide there. The Peugeot through the hairpin. Chased by the 74 of Mark Lee in the Ginetta. He's been chasing him all race long, virtually. So has everybody in Class 2 now made a pit stop? Let's have a look. The answer is yes, they have. So everybody in Class 2 has stopped. Nobody's missed the pit window. And in a few seconds, well, just under a minute, the pit window is going to open for everybody else, because we'll be 30 minutes into the race, and they have 10 minutes to make their stop, so expect a flurry of pit lane activity among the leaders. Class 1 cars running in the top 5 places. Rubens leads Rob Smith, Mark Lee in 3rd, Kester Cook is 4th, and Matty Street is now 5th in his BMW. Then we've got the 3 leading Clios. James Colburn is 6th overall, then Aaron Thompson, and then Richard Black in his Clio is 8th. The car shared with Richard Colburn, the father of James. Rounding out the top 10 is the Class 3 leader, Jamie Vinelmeyer, and in 10th place is Darren Gerhardt's Clio. So in 10 seconds, the pit window will open. It'll be all change. There's our leader. Oh, we've got a spinner. Look out. Oh, that's the Clio leader involved. Well, that's Ivan Mayers had spun the MX-5, and as he tried to rejoin, James Colburn has hit him. That means I think that he's lost the lead of the Clio class to Aaron Thompson. There's damage to the MX-5. You can see smoke coming off the tyre. That'll be bodywork fouling the tyre where he was hit. Now let's have a look what happened there. Round went the MX-5. Contact there with Andrew Porter. He's got damage, but it was as Mayers rejoined, swung it round, and the wheels spun, and he slid into the Clio of James Colburn, the leading Clio. Oh dear. That was very unfortunate. I don't think that was Ivan Mayer's fault there. He tried to rejoin, but the car got crossed up, and he was hit by James Colburn. There's the Clio. Look at the front end. And that was just as the pit window opens for the Clio class, along with classes 1 and 3. You can see the damage there. Hopefully that's just superficial damage, and James Colburn can keep that car going to hand over to Sarah Franklin. There are cars already pulling into the pits. Kester Cook has come in the Fiesta. Darren Gerhardt's in his Clio. Edward Cook to hand over to Steve in the Honda Civic. They're in. Well, there's Darren Gerhardt's car, and oh, the bonnet's up on that car as well. That car didn't come back out after its pit stop in race 1 either. Well, it looks like the bonnet has gone down, so I think Anton Spires is going to rejoin. Now, James Colburn is still going, so hopefully his Clio is all right. I hope Ivan Mayers is still going as well in the MX-5. The Thompsons have come in, Aaron Thompson to hand over to Steve, so that will give James Colburn the lead of the class back again. And the leader has come in. Ollie Rubin is in the pits to hand over to Simon Baker. There he is, the windscreen being cleaned on the BMW. And particularly coming down the centre straight, the setting sun is going to cause a problem for these drivers, I think. The car being sanitised, of course. That's why the pit stop's slightly longer than usual. Ollie Rubin gets out. Simon Baker gets in. There's the Cook family Honda behind them. Kester Cook in his Fiesta in there behind them. Don't know if they're any relation, Kester, Edward and Steve. And in comes Mark Lee as well. So that's put Rob Smith into the lead of the race. He's still out in the Peugeot. Mark Lee in the Ginetta is in. I think Rob Smith in the Peugeot will get my names mixed up here. Rob Smith in the Peugeot will stay out as long as possible because he's the quicker of the 2 Peugeot pilots. There is a stop-go penalty board out. Not sure who it is. Maybe for a pit infringement for one of the Class 2 cars. There's the little Ginetta. Jamie Vinelmeyer still leading Class 3. He's up to 7th overall with all the pit stops, so he'll have to come in to hand over to Steve Griffiths. Ivan Mayers has brought his Mazda into the pits. I hope that damage isn't terminal for the 316 car. Okay, so the Peugeot RCZ of Rob Smith leads and has yet to stop. Matty Street is now 2nd in the BMW, the Team Brit BMW, and he's yet to stop. There is our leader. The gap between them is 52 seconds. Up to third now is James Colburn's Clio. He leads the Clio class and has yet to stop. Hopefully they'll not suffer too much from that damage. And soon to go into fourth place is going to be James Black in Richard Colburn's Clio. There goes our leader. That's Rob Smith in the Peugeot RCZ. Now, will he come in this time? I would doubt it. He's going to leave it until the end of the pit window, I would think, Rob Smith. Okay, Ollie Rubens has Simon Baker in the car started by Ollie Rubin has rejoined. There he is. He's taking it easy. Heat the tyres back up. Served the extra 15 seconds. Mark Lee served the extra 10 seconds. They're now separated by 18 seconds on track. They've gone over the timing line. And there is the leading Peugeot. I can tell you Ivor Mayers has rejoined after his stop. We've checked the car and the damage is not too bad. So I would think Baker and Rubin have done enough here. They're ahead of Mark Lee. Kester Cook is a further 20 seconds back on Mark Lee. There he is, behind the Peugeot. So with the extra 10 seconds, you lose pretty much a lap with the pit stop here at Snetterton on this long layout. But with the extra 10 seconds for Mark Lee, you can see he's dropped further back from the Peugeot. That's a good gauge as to how long a pit stop takes. Rob still leading ahead of Matty Streets. They're separated by 52 seconds. The Team Brit BMW, which started near the back of the grid. 14 minutes to go. 4 minutes of the pit window left. Who else has been in? It was the Golf that had the stop-go penalty, so presumably a pit stop infringement for Stephen Chandler and Joel Wren. They've had to serve a stop-go. There's Matty Street. There is Richard Evans. And he's just retaken the lead in Class 2. Of course, he had the success penalty. He's overcome it, and he's caught up with Richard Higgins. Richard only had a 5-second penalty at his pit stop. Richard Evans had 15 seconds, but he's made it up, and he's just retaken the lead of Class 2. It's the Golf third in that class. And the 10-second penalty was the Ginetta, of course, number 2. They're further back in 14th. So the lead has changed in Class 2. James Colburn has brought the black Clio in. And Rob Smith has now come in the Peugeot. He's in the pits to hand over to Charlie Campbell. There it is. In gets Charlie Campbell into the Peugeot. See the pit stop being timed there by the observers. Have to stay stationary for 2 minutes. No pit stop penalty for the Peugeot. So that'll put Matty Street for Team Brit into the lead until he comes in. Who else has come in? Right, so by the look of it, only 2 cars have now not stopped. Matty Street and James Black in Richard Colburn's Clio. They're the only 2 cars yet to stop. They'll probably have to come in this time around. Great to see Team Brit leading the race. Blue flag to the Ginetta of Stuart Gibbons. There is the much more powerful Ginetta G56 of Mark Lee. Oh, a bit of a slide there from Mark Lee coming through Williams' corner. There is number 67. That is James Black in Richard Colburn's car. If that doesn't stop this time, they'll be up to 2nd overall. They're now leading the Clio class, but that's one of only 2 cars that is yet to stop. Colburn Senior will take over the Westbourne Motorsport prepared car. It's Matty Streets leading the way. We mentioned Team Brit helping those drivers to overcome physical and mental health problems through motorsports. Matty Streets. In comes the Clio there, incidentally. Matty Streets, the autistic racer. While Andy Tucker, his driving partner, suffered multiple injuries a few years ago in a road traffic accident, and they fought back to be able to overcome their adversities and race here today. It's wonderful to see Team Brit leading the race at the moment. He's coming down into Brundle Corner now. He'll be the last to stop because the Clio has come in. James Black handing over to Richard Colburn. Mark Lee goes through. He's in 4th overall now in the Ginetta. Well, there was our leader. There's Richard Higgins, the back of this group. The front of this group is the white and purple Team Brit car. There it is, number 70, Matty Street. Now, I'd imagine he's going to come in this time because the pit window is about to close. He must come in this time. Yes, he has. He's just taken it right to the end of the pit window. Just a few seconds before it closed. Andy Tucker will take over. Good work, Matty Street, from the back of the grid up into the lead. And that's going to give the lead back to Simon Baker. In the BMW 1 Series, they've done enough to overcome their pit penalty. The number 10 car is just cutting into Nelson now towards the end of the lap. And the number 10 car will retake the lead with the Tucker Street car. There it is in the pit lane. Good work by Team Brit. Richard Colburn leaves the pit lane in the blue Clio. See where he slots in. It's still fairly close between the two Clios further down. Sarah Franklin and Steve Thompson. See where the gap is as they come through. 13 seconds I think they're separated by at the moment. And look, Mark Lee is right up behind Charlie Campbell again. He's surely going to go through this time in the Ginetta. He was trying to get past Rob Smith in that Peugeot all the way through his the first stint for that car. Yep, he's finally got it. And that will be for 2nd overall. There's Baker. There's Lee rather in 2nd place now. Now, how far behind Simon Baker's BMW is he? 15.257 seconds. So 15 seconds between them, and that's the pit penalty that Simon Baker had, coincidentally. So they're separated by 15 seconds. Of course, if we hadn't had the pit penalty, it'd be 20 seconds because Baker and Rubens had 15 seconds from race 1. Mark Lee had 10 seconds for 2nd place, so they're 1st and 2nd again. 3rd place is the Peugeot. It's Kester Cook in 4th position in the Ford Fiesta. Now, what's the gap between those two? Campbell and Cook, 21.5 seconds. There's the Fiesta, which you see it in the background there. See if he can catch the Peugeot for 3rd place. There's our leader coming down the Bentley straight. Leading Class 2, it is once again Richard Evans, but he's less than 2 seconds ahead of Richard Higgins. He had to overcome his pit penalty, as we mentioned, to pass him. And 3rd in that class, despite a stop-go penalty, is the Chandler and Wren Golf. There is the Class 2 leader. Class 3, that is being led by Griffiths and Vin Olmeyer. Despite their pit penalty, they're 50 seconds ahead of the Cook Honda. And it's the McMahon Alfa Romeo. Barry McMahon in the Giulietta in 3rd in that class. So no catching Steve Griffiths and Jamie Vin Olmeyer in the Ginetta. There's Mark Lee's Ginetta in 2nd place. Just getting past one of the Clios there. That's Richard Colburn. He's now in 15th place. The Clio class is being led by Sarah Franklin. She's ahead of Steve Thompson by 7.5 seconds. See if Steve can catch her. That rather battered black Westbourne Motorsport Clio. There's the leader. Going up on Anton Spires. He's still going in his Clio. So 5 retirements so far. We lost Tony Prendergast, Jones and Taylor's Golf, Richard Bernard's Boxster in a cloud of smoke, and Anthony Hutchings as a result of that collision with Ivor Mares, and also, of course, Paul DeHadre. No, it was DeHadre that Hutchings collided with, I apologise. They were taken out down at Nelson. There's our leader. Just over 6 minutes to go now for Simon Baker. It's going to be 4 out of 4, surely, for the BMW. That lightning pace of Ollie Reuben certainly helping in the early stages, lapping 3 seconds a lap quicker than everybody else. He's lapping on the same pace as Mark Lee at the moment in second, 15.5 seconds apart. There's the Class 3 leader. I'd go as far as to say that BMW number 10 of Baker and Reuben, that car could hold its own, I reckon, in the endurance category of Brit car. Steve Griffiths at the wheel of the Ginetta now. Confident car control from him. If they win the class here, they'll be leading the championship overall jointly with the overall winning BMW. 4 class wins out of 4. As for battles for track position, it's fairly close for 8th and 9th between, guess who, Andy Mollison's Clio and Matt Evans' Scirocco. They were inseparable before the pit stops. They're 8th and 9th, battling for 4th, still battling for 4th in Class 2. And also, Andy Porter's having a scrap with Andy Bentley, the Porsche and the Ginetta, for 10th overall. They're all Class 2 cars. What's the gap looking like in the Clios now? For the lead of the Clio class, Steve Thompson is catching Sarah Franklin. We'll try and pick up on that if we can. Well, there are the Clios, and yes, Steve Thompson in the white car there has almost caught Sarah Franklin in the black car. He's going to try and make a move as they come down into Agostini. This is for the lead of the Clio class, and Steve Thompson goes through. Takes the lead in the SDT Contracts car. Sarah Franklin down to second in that rather taped together Clio started by James Colburn. Good to see Sarah back out racing. Valiant effort against the Thompson family. Looks like they could be heading for a class win, though. We've got just 3.5 minutes to go now. It's going to be overall victory by the look of it for Baker and Reuben, although the gap has closed a little. Mark Lee has got the gap down to 12 seconds now. There's the leader. There's the Clio fight behind him, and there's Mark Lee. Now, his last lap was a 2 minutes 8.9. The last lap for Baker was a 2 minutes 12.1. Mark Lee coming up on the Clios. Mark Lee through the bomb hole. Is he trying to chase down? I don't think he'll have time left to catch. Yeah, there's only less than 3 minutes left to catch the BMW. A little bit of a lock-up there from Steve Thompson. There's the Team Brit BMW of Luke Pound. There goes the leader up towards Wilson's hairpin. And here's a replay of some. This is up at Agostini. That's the Peugeot of Charlie Campbell. It's running in third place. Sean Woodard goes for the inside and contact. Oh, and Charlie didn't see the BMW there, and round goes the Peugeot. It looks like Charlie Campbell didn't see Sean Woodard there on the inside, moved across on him. But now, is that going to let Kester Cook catch up and take third place? Where's the Fiesta? We'll have to see when they cross the line. He has got going again, Charlie Campbell. There goes Kester Cook, and yes, he has taken third place. That's a shame for the Peugeot. Here he comes. Meantime, there is Mark Lee. He's got the gap down now to 8.3 seconds, but he's going to run out of time to catch Baker, who's backed off. He's lapping in the 2 minute 12s. It is going to be 4 out of 4 for the BMW. There it is. It looks as though it's going to be checkered flag this time. I don't think they'll get through in time to do one more lap. Well, the car started by Ollie Reuben this time. Simon Baker doing the second stint. He's coming up on Andy Tucker in the BMW from Team Brit down into 12th place. They led briefly before the pit stops. They were the last to pit. But who can stop this extraordinary BMW from Woodrow Motorsports? Whether it's Kevin Clark in the car, whether it's Ollie Reuben or Simon Baker, there's just no stopping them. 2 wins at Silverstone, and it's going to be 2 wins here at Thruxton. Although the pace he's doing now, they might get another lap in here. Yeah, 30 seconds left. We're going to get one more lap out of this. I didn't think they would. Yes, we are going to have one final lap. I thought the countdown had reached 0 before he got there, but Simon Baker's even too quick for my reckoning. Into his last lap he goes. There is Mark Lee. Now, what's the gap this time? 3.7 seconds. Lee's just done a personal best of 2:07.4. Baker's still lapping in the 2:12s. It's a long lap here at Snetterton. I reckon Mark Lee could catch Simon Baker here. I wasn't expecting another lap, and I think Mark Lee's going to be right up with him towards the end of this one. This is going to be interesting. This race is not over yet. There's Mark Lee. He's reeling the BMW in now. Has that BMW got a problem, I wonder? Needs to be careful with the back markers. He's coming up on Steve Cook in the Honda there, and he's almost caught him. Look at this. We didn't expect this at all. I was certain the BMW was heading for 4 out of 4. Mark Lee's got other ideas. Here comes the Ginetta. I saw he was lapping in the 2-minute 12s, and I assumed that Baker had backed off. Perhaps they weren't banking on this final lap either. Look, Mark Lee, he's within about 3 car lengths now. Look at this. Has the BMW got a problem? Mark Lee, he's caught him. He's going to go for it down the Bentley straight. Here comes Mark Lee in the Ginetta. It may not be 4 out of 4 for the Woodrow BMW, because here comes Mark Lee in the SVG Motorsport Ginetta. He's ready to strike. We're on the last lap, definitely now. The clock is down to 0. They're coming into Brundle and Nelson for the final time. Can Simon Baker hold off Mark Lee? We're going to have a race to the line here after all. What a finish to the weekend here at Snetterton. Down to the bomb hole. Can Simon Baker hang on? Mark Lee is ready to attack. Baker's defending. What a drive by Mark Lee. He's going to go for it. Here he goes. He's onto the outside. He's trying to get the inside line away into Murray's. He's going to do it. He's up the inside. He locks the brakes up. He's done it. Oh, Mark Lee takes the lead into the very last corner. Woodrow Motorsport can't believe it. SVG Motorsport are going to be celebrating. Baker fights back. They're going to finish side by side. Baker's not done yet. He's got him back again. Incredible. I can't believe that. What a finish. Oh my goodness me, that is the best finish I've seen in ages. I can't wait to hear from the drivers after that one. After lapping 5 seconds a lap slower than Mark Lee for the last 5 or so minutes of that race, Lee catches him, passes into Murray's for the last time, and then Baker gets him back on the line. 0.3 of a second in it. What a finish. Meanwhile, we've got the classes to consider first of all before we celebrate too much. It's going to be Richard Evans. He's overcome his success penalty. It's going to be a double for the BMW from Quattro Motorsport. He's 5th overall. Kester Cook completes the podium. Well done, Kester. His Fiesta will take 3rd place. It's the Peugeot RCZ that's going to take 4th. A fine result for Campbell and Smith. Richard Evans will win Class 2. Ahead of Richard Higgins. He'll go to pick up his headlight from Wilson's hairpin in 6th overall. And Andrew Bentley, we said that Ginetta would fly through with Andy on board. He's going to finish 7th and 3rd in Class 2. Chandler and Wren in the Golf. Stop-go penalty for them in the second half of that race. Will finish in 8th place. Here they come over the line. 9th will go to Andy Porter in his Porsche Boxster. Good run through from him. He started at the very back of the grid after trouble in qualifying. And rounding up the top 10 will be the Mollison Firth Clio. There it is, Andy Mollison in the Clio. The Clio class will be won by the Thompsons. They finished a lap down. in the number 41 car, and Class 3 will be won by the Ginetta G20 of Griffiths and Vinelmeyer, and they'll take the overall lead of the championship. Very nice indeed, thank you. Well, that just proves it ain't over till it's over. What an incredible finish for the overall win. I can't wait to hear from the drivers down in Parc Fermé after that one. What a cracker.
Wow, another high dramatic finish we had. That was incredible. It literally went down to the last corner, didn't it? But it was just that extra little bit of power in the BMW here that did it, didn't it? Let's go chat to the guys. Here we go, chaps. Having a little bit of a deja vu here, but my word, that wasn't half close, wasn't it?
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, very, very close.
Was everything okay with the car? Everything?
So Simon didn't know that he was approaching him so quick, so he was just taking it easy and just bringing it home safely. And then all of a sudden, he's just appeared on his back bumper, and it's like,
I didn't realise he was behind me, and then I looked in my mirror. I thought, what's he doing?
It was 3.5 seconds on the last lap, the lead, and then all of a sudden, I was watching him come down the last corner. I couldn't believe what was going on, but the power just did it in the end.
Well, I think his tyres were probably a bit more worn out than mine, so I let him sort of go in deep, and then I just undercut him. So.
Because you've got Claire here who wants to give you your trophies, just to show them up to the camera for us, boys. Give us a bit of a hurrah! Woo! There you go. Double winners here. Congratulations, guys. Magnificent stuff. Where's Mark? Go on, let's grab Mark, shall we? Mark, I don't know about you, my heart rate hasn't come down yet. Blimey, 3.5 seconds was the gap heading into the last lap.
Is that what it
you
was?
had him at the final corner, but perhaps the power was just a little bit too much again.
Yeah, that power,
But just talk us through, that was some incredible pace in the second half there.
Yeah, well, looking, my team just put out, I think about 3-4 laps to go. I think it's about 8-9 seconds, so I just thought, let's see what we can do. And obviously I started to see him, and then obviously it just started, thought it was a bit odd that he was coming close, but I think he just said he's had a problem, had a bit of a problem.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, in fact, I was just talking to him actually. He didn't realise you were catching so quickly, and then I think all of a sudden, last lap, you're suddenly there, and I think you caught him off guard, and you almost had it.
Yeah, well, I knew Coram was the only place that I could get him on the corner. Obviously, the straight, you just saw what he could do, and I can't compete with that.
No,
cheers, Andy.
Fantastic racing. Congratulations, Mark. Double podium, 2 second places, and let's go get our good friend Kester Cook as well, because he's made it a true. In fact, it's a deja vu, isn't it? It's the same as race one. It's just asking, going to put his balaclava on before he has a little chat with us. Kester, we've got to stop meeting like this, haven't we? People are going to start talking. That was another dramatic race one, isn't it? Certainly pretty close towards the end of the race. Car felt good, pace was pretty strong throughout.
It's better handling, but once again, absolutely no brakes.
Really?
I had a couple of offs because I went for the pedal, it went to the floor, and I slowed right down. I said to the guys, I'm going to come in. Because it was just dangerous. And then the dash packed up early on, so I didn't know what gear I was in, no shift lights, factory warnings coming on, it was just entertaining.
So what you're saying is, Kester, you can go even quicker next time, is that what you're saying?
But no, I've got to sort some brakes out first, because that's scary. That is scary.
Well, it's another podium. I think Claire wants to give you a trophy. Congratulations, Kester, well done, fantastic stuff there. Let's just have a little look at the rest of the field, shall we? Let's just pan the camera around just before I head back to Dave. What a beautiful sight it is. It smiles all around. It's been a wonderful weekend of action here at Snetterton. It is a deja vu though in the Brit Car Endurance Trophy. It's pretty special. So what I think we're going to do, it was a wonderful weekend, but again, congratulations to car number 10. They've made it a double bubble. It's the same podium. High drama here at Snetterton for the Brit Car Endurance Trophy. I'm going to hand you back to Dave Goddard, and he's going to take you through all the classifications for you. Thank you.
Okay, thanks very much, Ian. Yes, we will. We'll just give you the class results from that incredible final race. Class 1 was as overall, Baker and Rubin in first place, Lee second and Cook third. Class 2 was won by Richard Evans in his BMW in fifth place overall, behind the Campbell and Smith Peugeot. Richard Higgins second in his Porsche, then the Spano Bentley Ginetta G40. The Clio class, that was won by the Thompsons. They were down in 12th overall. 14th overall and second in class were James Colburn and Sarah Franklin. Third of the Clio's Ranton Spires and Darren Gerhardt's. They finished 16th overall. You can see the full overall results there. What a remarkable race that was. I'm absolutely spent after that one. Class 3, meanwhile, that was the Steve Griffiths, Jamie Vinnell, Maya Ginetta. They take the overall lead in the championship as a result of that one. Second in that class was Stephen Edward Cook, and third was the Alfa Romeo of Barry McMahon. So well done to him. Well, what an incredible weekend that was. Absolutely brilliant, to say the least, here at Snetterton. Thank you very much indeed to everyone for watching this weekend. We must thank everybody from the British Automobile Racing Club for their assistance this weekend. Thank you to the Orange Army, the volunteer marshalling team. We could not go racing without them, and especially when they had to brave weather like it was yesterday morning in heavy rain. The pit lane was almost flooded at one point.